So there's an idea out there, a societal belief that's being pushed on, especially on us guys, as an undeniable truth. Now, this belief, at least on the surface, seems to be true. In fact, a lot of people would argue it seems obvious. The idea I'm referring to, that you are running out of time and that by now you should probably have your life figured out. And if you look around, this narrative is pushed everywhere. Don't waste a moment. Make use of every minute, every hour. You need to be hustling. Live every day like it's your last. Grind and grind harder. When it comes to having things figured out on your Instagram feed, what do you see? Perfect people with perfect lives, with six-pack abs, owning fancy cars and beautiful homes, with even more beautiful partners and friends. And as you consume all of this, you're neck deep in anxiety because you haven't achieved enough. You're 58, you're 48, you're 28, and you haven't figured out life. Seriously, I got an email from a guy the other day. He's 18 and already feels behind in life and was having anxiety attacks because he felt he hadn't accomplished anything. He wasn't nearly enough. Guys, I get it. I've been there. And in fact, some days I'm still there. That feeling of being stuck while the rest of the world is sprinting ahead, I know it well. And that pressure can be paralyzing, especially if you're a high achiever. If you're the kind of guy that you want to be your best self, who actually cares about living up to his potential. Well, today, gents, I want to hit the brakes on that noise because here's what I know to be true. No matter what your age is, you're not behind. You're simply on your own unique path. And the idea at some point, at some perfect age, you're supposed to have your entire life figured out? Guys, that is complete. I know personally hundreds of successful men, and I can tell you the number of people I've met that have it all figured out probably would fit on one hand. And to be honest, those people were probably way overconfident, or maybe they were psychopaths. In any case, my point is, if you don't have life figured out, if you're not able to accomplish everything, guess what? You are in great company. Because the reality of being a human being is that you have limits. And I know for some guys, especially the high achievers out there, that's not something they want to hear. But if you're stressed out in your inability to get everything done, well, guess what? When you accept the fact that you can't get everything done, that you're a human being with limited time, limited energy, limited focus. Guys, once you accept that, it's like having a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. In fact, to better illustrate this, let me ask you a quick question. How many weeks do you suppose, on average, a human being has on this planet? 100,000, 50,000, 25,000, 10,000? Gents, if you live to be 80 years old, you get 4,000 weeks. Now, I was reminded of this fact the other day reading one of my favorite books by Oliver Burkeman. And as a guy coming in on 50, when I look at how many of those 4,000 weeks I've used, it's almost kind of depressing when you see how little time you have left. Or it can be empowering. Because newsflash, you can't do it all. But that's not a bad thing because it allows you to say no to a lot of things that honestly shouldn't matter to you. And for the things that do matter to you, you now have permission to carve out time for them and make them a priority for the limited time you do have. Now, really quick, gents, I want to introduce you to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Now, BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service that's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. And as a guy, gents, I want you to know getting help, going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. And straight up, gents, I've used their services because like anyone else, I've got issues. I've got 7 kids, 5 businesses, and just like you, I deal with the ups and downs of life. Gents, I'm here to tell you, talking with a professional can help. So the way it works is this. You go to the BetterHelp website and they match you up with the right therapist from their network. Now, once you're matched up with your therapist, you can talk to them however you feel comfortable. Via chat, via phone, via video call. And on top of that, you can message your therapist at any time and schedule appointments at your convenience. Oh, and if for any reason you want to switch therapists, you can do it at no cost. Gents, in a nutshell, at BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you would get with in-office therapy, but with a therapist that's actually custom picked for you, plus more scheduling flexibility at an affordable price. To get started today, gents, go to BetterHelp.com/RMRS. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/RMRS. Gents, make sure to use this link. I'll put it in the description of today's video. This will ensure you get the best deal on the web. So now let's talk about this pervasive myth in society that somehow you are behind if you're not making this amount of money, or if you don't own this type of car, if you're not in this type of relationship with this type of person. Guys, I just need to say it again. all the successful people I know, they are still trying to figure out life. I know tons of multimillionaires that are lonely, that can't seem to figure out relationships. I know guys that are in great shape, have a great looking girlfriend, but they're lost in terms of purpose and direction in life. I know family men that from the outside look like they have everything, but deep down they're struggling because they don't feel their life is exciting. And they wonder sometimes, what would it be like just to live a life of adventure out there being a digital nomad by myself? Now, you don't need to feel sorry for any of those guys because all of those are based off real examples. And for the most part, those guys are incredibly happy with their lives. But when you talk with them, you get to know them, you have deep conversations, you realize they're still trying to figure it out because just like you, they're human. So guys, remember, when you don't feel like you got life figured out, you are in good company. Now, I know for some of you guys, it may sound counterintuitive, but embracing your limitations, guys, this is a great thing. Why? Because when you realize you have limitations, when you realize you don't have unlimited options, you're able to focus on the options you do have. The power here is instead of falling into analysis paralysis, spending all this time looking at, oh, the grass is greener on the other side, when you realize you've got these limited options, that your time is finite, you get to be intentional about what time you do have and on what projects. In fact, this reminds me of a story of a guy that had all these things he wanted to accomplish in his life. And he went to a wise man, had a list of over 100 items. And the wise man said, okay, do you have this in order of most important to least important? He's like, yep, I've got it right in here. All these things I want to accomplish. He's like, go out there and do 1 through 5. And do it in that order and work on nothing else until you get those other ones done. He's like, well, number 6, number 7, I could put a little bit of effort here because it's really simple. He's like, no, you must not ever do number 6, number 7, everything that falls below that. Those are distractions and they will stop you from accomplishing those top 5 things you want to do. You get the point, right? Constraints give you the ability to focus on what's important. And it's the shiny, distractful things that are somewhat important that we would like to get done that pull us away. Those are the things we have to be careful about. So I got a question for you. Are you chasing your dream or are you chasing somebody else's? I know for me, from the ages of about 14 to 24, I was chasing other people's dreams. It started in high school when I realized being an archaeologist or a paleontologist really didn't pay that much money. So I looked around, I thought, oh, I want to help people. I started telling people I wanted to be a doctor. Now, did I really want to be a doctor? No, I just simply liked whenever I told people this, they gave me some respect. They said, oh, that's a great path. You're going to be able to help people, earn good money. So up till my junior year in college, that was my path. Till thankfully, I realized, what am I doing? I hate organic chemistry. I don't like being around blood. I don't like being around sick people. I really don't want to be a doctor. Now, I'd like to tell you I had the courage to go and pursue my dreams, but I didn't. I just simply was walking across campus. I remember running into a Marine Corps recruiter. Now, my grandfather had been a merchant Marine. My dad had served in the Army. My brother had been in the Marine Corps. So I started talking to the recruiter. Next thing I know, I'm shipping off to OCS. After I graduated from college, I picked up my commission and I had a flight contract. What that basically means is I had a guaranteed spot that if I did everything right, I would go right into flight school and I had a chance to fly F-18s or Harrier jets. Now, let me tell you, for a guy without much direction, that was a sexy career path. Anytime I would tell somebody, yeah, I'm on the flight school path, they would either get jealous, they would ask me questions. And as I got farther along, yeah, I'll admit it was fun. It was interesting. Going through the Dunker and pre-flight training in Pensacola, then going off to the Naval Air Station in Corpus Christi and being part of a training squadron, getting to fly T-34s in the skies over Texas. Yeah, it sounds awesome. It sounds romantic. But what I realized is this wasn't my dream. I actually didn't really want to be a pilot. I fell into it. And when I realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to have to stay in another 8 years after I get my wings. Yeah, I'm not sure this is for me. Now, in my case, fate stepped in and made the decision for me. I blew out my sinuses doing a penetration dive, and I wasn't able to fly anymore. Now, that led me to the Marine Corps Infantry, which led me to a tour of combat, which allowed me to take advantage of the Hazelwood Act and go to the University of Texas to get my MBA for free, which finally, after that, led to me doing something I really loved, which is starting businesses. But my question to you still stands. Are you chasing somebody else's dream? Or are you going after your own? Trust me, I fumbled with this for over 15 years. The path is not clear. But the first step to figuring it out is to be honest with yourself. So, what path are you on? Next up, let's talk about how so many guys beat themselves up for making a good decision, but getting a bad outcome. Now, in a world and society that pushes notions like you get what you deserve, how can a good decision lead to a bad outcome? So let me ask you a question. You spend $10 on lottery tickets and you win $1,000. Was it a good decision to buy those tickets? Now, the majority of people out there would say yes. But the true answer to the question, was this a smart decision, is I didn't give you enough information. Yes, you won, but statistically, we know that in general, buying lottery tickets is not the smartest thing. Yeah, for the average person spending $10 or even $1,000, they are going to be negative in the amount that they win. Now, the trap with that question is we look at the result. We got a desirable result, even if the decision wasn't smart. And that, gentlemen, is called resulting or result bias. Now, I learned about this from an amazing writer, Annie Duke. She actually has a chart in which she talks about how when bad decisions have good outcomes, this is called dumb luck. And if you look at this chart, you can probably relate to times in your life in which you made a good decision, like stopping at a stop sign, and then you had a bad outcome, like somebody hitting you from behind. Now, does that mean that that was a bad decision? No, you made the right decision. No, just somebody behind you wasn't paying attention. It was bad luck. And we all know somebody that's probably done a California stop at a stop sign and gotten pulled over. Right here. Yeah. Well, in that case, the results were deserved. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is that when most people think about decision making, they think if they do the right thing, they should get the right outcome, the deserved reward. But the reality of life is that you can make the right decisions. You can do everything right and still fail. Gents, if you find yourself in this situation where you made the right decision, but yet the outcome wasn't what you expected, either through luck or just simply the actions of others. Yeah, you need to learn from this. You need to pick yourself up, but be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't relive this pain again and again. Move on and try again. So if you're a high achiever, if you're a type A personality, one of the hardest things to do is nothing. To slow down, to take life at the speed in which it's meant to be. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you read a book? A lot of people have trouble with this nowadays because they feel it should be going faster. I know it sounds crazy when you say it, but think about it. Why do you get frustrated with a book? Because you're so used to looking at the TikTok videos, YouTube shorts that move through in less than 15 seconds, 3 seconds. You're able to get the point, and you're wondering what has taken this book so long. It's why it's so difficult for us to sit and watch a movie. When it comes to information, when it comes to learning, when it comes to relationships, we feel we need more, faster. When really what we probably need is just to slow down, to take things at the rate in which they are meant to be enjoyed. Now let's face it, so many of us are addicted to busyness. We've got this whole FOMO, fear of missing out thing. But how to flip that? Maybe to JOMO, the joy of missing out, right? So for me as a busy business owner, a tactic that works is scheduling time with unreasonable people. I don't know, maybe that's not the way I would describe my kids, but I find that when I schedule time to take them to events, to take them to places, what do they want to do? They want to talk. I want to talk to them. They walk at a certain pace, especially my 2-year-old. Whenever we are going to the park, she doesn't want to be carried. She wants to walk herself. She's at that age, almost 3 now, and it is incredibly slow. Yes, I set aside 2 hours because we're going to spend a solid 30 minutes walking something that should take 3 minutes, but she's exploring, she's going around. Then we stay at the park an hour, maybe even a little bit longer. And then, depending on my schedule, I may sometimes pick her up and run with her. She likes that stuff. Point being is that you've got to find something that extracts you out of your cell phone, out of the busyness of your life, and puts you in an environment in which you can't control the speed. So those group exercise sessions, besides being social, besides being around other people, you can't speed it up because there's 25 other people that are with you. And you feel a little bit of pressure because you're on a team to stick around and to see the workout through. Maybe going for a ride on your bike or hiking through the woods. Again, what I love about these things is you really can't be distracted with your phone. You've got to pay attention. You've got to be present. I know for me, going to the shooting range is another thing I absolutely love. My entire mind, my entire focus is on the way I'm holding the weapon, my breathing, and just pulling the trigger. Gents, take that time. Set up systems to slow yourself down so that you can speed up later, because you're going to come back to work. You're going to re-engage with your projects with a lot more energy because you're rested and you're ready to go. So gents, don't let the world's timeline dictate your self-worth. You, just by existing, by being here, are enough. And none of us, especially me, have it all figured out. But that doesn't mean we're going to stop trying, right guys? All right, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I've got another one for you. Boom, right here. Go check it out if you like our self-improvement videos here at Real Men Real Style. You will love this one. So go check it out. Boom, right there. Oh yeah.